What if Yoda trained Anakin? In the Phantom Menace, we witnessed Qui-Gon's death and how he made Obi-Wan promise to train Anakin in the ways of the Force. For the next 13 years, he taught him everything he knew, and although the two became almost like brothers, Anakin eventually fell to the dark side and became Darth Vader. But what if things were different? What if Yoda was the one to train Anakin instead of Obi-Wan? How different would things have been if he took it upon himself to train Anakin on his own? Well, in this alternate timeline, that's exactly what we'll be diving into, so let's get right into it. Our story begins just days after Qui-Gon's death, where Obi-Wan went to go speak with Grandmaster Yoda. He explained to Yoda what happened on Naboo, but even more than that, he also wanted to speak to him about the future of Anakin Skywalker. Back on Naboo, Qui-Gon made him promise to train Anakin in the ways of the Force, and so Obi-Wan would follow his master's dying wish no matter what. However, this is where our story is different from the original. As Obi-Wan explained to Yoda that he would be the one to train Anakin, Yoda spoke up.
Confer on you the level of Jedi Knight, the Council does. But agree with your taking this boy as your Padawan learner, I do not.
Qui-Gon believed in him?
The chosen one the boy may be. Nevertheless, grave danger I fear in his training.
Master Yoda, I gave Qui-Gon my word. I will train Anakin.
No, too young and inexperienced you are, Obi-Wan. Much darkness I sense in the boy. If young Skywalker is to be a Jedi, a master is needed with more experience.
But Master, if not me, who is to train him?
Train young Skywalker I will. A Jedi he will be.
Later that night, Qui-Gon's funeral was held, and it was there where Obi-Wan informed Anakin that he would be trained as a Jedi, but under Yoda's teachings. Once Anakin heard this, he felt a mix of different emotions. Although he was excited to be a Jedi, he was scared, nervous, and even confused since just a few days ago Yoda told him that he was too old to be trained. Now he's training him himself? This made Anakin nervous. Despite his excitement to be trained by the Jedi Grandmaster himself, he wished that Qui-Gon was still around. He would know what to do in this situation. After the funeral, everyone departed back to Coruscant, but because Anakin was so nervous, he still hadn't spoken to his new master yet. However, as they arrived on the planet, he saw Yoda walking by himself with his cane. So, Anakin finally went up to him.
Master Yoda, sir?
Yes, young Skywalker?
Master Obi-Wan told me that you'll be my new master, sir. I just wanted to say thank you, sir.
Thank me, you do not need to, young Skywalker. Much darkness I sense in you, but with the right training, a great Jedi you might be.
I'll do whatever it takes, sir.
Call me sir, you do not need to. See you tomorrow I shall. And once the morning arrives, our training, we will begin.
13 years had passed since Yoda took Anakin on as his Padawan, and since then, Anakin had become a much different Jedi than anybody ever expected. Not only did he wield a green lightsaber just like his master, but over the years he had become much wiser, more patient, and more connected to the Force had he originally gone with Obi-Wan. This shocked Yoda because when he first met Anakin, he thought he was going to be a danger to the Jedi Order, but over time, Anakin proved both him and the Jedi Council wrong. For so long, the Order rejected the idea of training students at a late age since they could easily form attachments to others outside the walls of the temple. However, under Yoda's training, he was able to teach Anakin how to let go. Unfortunately though, it wasn't always such a smooth path for the two of them. Throughout the first few months of their training, they experienced a lot of road bumps together and bumped heads a lot. For months, Anakin thought Yoda's training was boring, mainly because a lot of it revolved around studying and learning the history of the Jedi. As a young kid, all he wanted to do was train with a lightsaber, and because he wasn't doing any of that, he started to doubt Yoda's abilities as a master. He thought to himself that maybe Yoda was too old to be a teacher and that he wasn't as powerful as everyone said he was. However, let's just say Anakin's opinion about Yoda quickly changed. As he got older, the two started doing more combat and lightsaber training, and well, Anakin quickly learned why he was the Grand Master of the Order. He was impressed since Yoda did such a good job at hiding his abilities by using a cane and seeming so old and frail, but in reality he was so powerful. So from there, Anakin did whatever he could to learn from the best, and over time he became enthusiastic about learning under Yoda. However, there was one problem. During their early years together, Anakin missed his mother. The thought of being away from her hurt him inside, so Yoda had to teach him that this was a natural part of life and that if he really wanted to become a Jedi, these sacrifices were necessary. As a 9-year-old boy, this was really hard for Anakin to hear, but over time he understood, and over the years, he began to let go of the attachment to his mother. However, to make sure that his mother was still safe, Yoda did something in secret that he never told Anakin. Just 1 year after Anakin joined the Jedi Order, Yoda took it upon himself to visit Tatooine alone. When he arrived, he saw that Anakin's mother was with a new family called the Lars family, and while they seemed like good people, Yoda did something out of his own will. Since he had good relations with the Tusken Raiders, he communicated with them and did whatever he could to make sure that she was safe and protected. That way no harm would ever come her way. Although Anakin never found out that he did this, Yoda felt that it was the right thing to do. However, despite Anakin being able to let go of his attachment to his mother, there was one person he couldn't control his emotions around: Padme Amidala. Ever since he was a boy, he always had strong feelings for her, and although Yoda trained him well, Anakin was never able to shake these feelings no matter how hard he tried. So, just as we saw in the films, Anakin did end up marrying Padme and kept his relationship with her a secret, but little did he know, Yoda always knew about it. With all the time that he spent with his Padawan, he knew him far too well. He saw how much his eyes lit up anytime her name was mentioned, and how he acted like a whole different person anytime he was around her. It was unfortunate, because as Anakin grew older as a Jedi Knight, Yoda thought that he was ready for his next step as a master, but he just couldn't offer him that rank yet. As long as he kept that relationship with Senator Amidala, he just couldn't grant him that. If Anakin was exposed for a secret relationship with the Senator, it would mean he would be banned from the Jedi Order, and since the Republic needed Anakin right now, especially during the Clone Wars, he couldn't distract him from the task at hand. Eventually, Yoda would confront him about his relationship, but now wasn't that time. That conversation would happen when the war was over. Whatever happens when the Clone Wars is over is up to the will of the Force, but for now, they had to win, and now with it coming to a close, victory seemed near for the Jedi. However, there was one issue. Anakin had nightmares. Nightmares of losing his wife, Padme. Just earlier, Padme revealed to Anakin that she was pregnant, and now he had visions that she would die in childbirth. Although this worried Anakin a bit, he tried to remember Yoda's teachings and to not focus on his anxieties. Luckily, because of Yoda's training, these visions didn't affect him too much, but it was still worth speaking to him about. So the next morning, Anakin went to go speak with Yoda.
Premonitions. These visions you have.
They're of pain, suffering, death.
Yourself you speak of? Or someone you know?
Someone.
At that moment, Yoda knew exactly who this was about. It was about Padme. However, Yoda kept quiet. Now wasn't the time to confront young Skywalker about it.
Remember your teachings, you must, Anakin.
I know, Master Yoda. I'm not focusing too much on them, as I always remember what you taught me. Fear is the path to the dark side. I just wanted to use this chance to be open with you, I guess.
Although he tried his best not to show it, Yoda started laughing inside. Throughout over 850 years of living, he's seen a lot of Jedi grow up, but never has he met somebody as unusual as Anakin. He found it hilarious that Anakin would be open with him about this, but not about his relationship. However, Yoda did his best to keep a straight face.
Good, young Skywalker. Learned a lot, you have.
Thank you, Master. Master Yoda, there was one more thing I wanted to speak with you about.
Yes?
These visions of death. They've got me thinking. Do you ever miss Master Qui-Gon?
A great master he was. But rejoice I have for him for transforming into the Force. Mourn him I do not. Miss him I do not. Attachments lead to jealousy. The shadow of greed, that is.
I understand. Anyways, it looks like the war is almost over. Hopefully we can capture General Grievous soon. And if he leads us to Dooku, well then this can all be over sooner than we expect.
Patience we must have, young Skywalker. A growing darkness I sense. Grave care we must take.
Later that day, a Jedi Council meeting was held, but since Anakin wasn't a part of the council yet, he wasn't invited to the meeting. However, he was okay with this. Because of Yoda's teachings, he was able to master his emotions and learn patience, so he was okay with not being on the council yet. He knew that as long as he worked hard and consistently proved his loyalty to the Jedi Order, his time would come, but for now, he had to remain patient. So, as the council meeting came to a close, every member left the room except for Yoda. He wanted to speak to Anakin alone. So he called Anakin into the room, and as he did, he said,
Young Skywalker, Sent to Kashyyyk I am.
You're going to Kashyyyk?
Help they need, and good relations with the Wookiees I have.
Am I coming along with you? Normally we go on missions together, right?
This time, alone I will go, young Skywalker. Stay here on Coruscant you must.
I understand, Master.
Yoda nodded his head.
Master, one last thing.
Yes?
This growing darkness you spoke about earlier. I can't describe it, but I sense it too. I can't wrap my finger around it, though.
Patience you must have, young Skywalker. Soon the answers will come.
Master, if for some reason I'm in trouble while I stay behind here on Coruscant, can I contact you?
Fear not. Focus on the present you must, not the future. But if an emergency you are in, contact me you may.
I understand. Thank you, Master.
Yoda nodded, and from there the two then went their separate ways. Over the next day, Anakin stayed on Coruscant, but his nightmares returned. Although Padme told him not to worry so much about them, Anakin couldn't help himself. For some reason, they felt real. This surprised him because usually he was good at controlling his emotions just like Yoda taught him to, but he's never experienced continuous nightmares like this before. So Anakin needed to speak to somebody, but there was one problem. Since his master was gone on Kashyyyk, he felt there was nobody else to speak to. He needed somebody wise to help him, somebody who had experience. Then it hit him, Chancellor Palpatine. Over the past decade, he became somewhat close to the Chancellor, but not heavily. Whenever he had issues, he would usually just go to Master Yoda about it since he was so wise. But now with Yoda gone, he felt like maybe it would be good to speak with the Chancellor about it instead. So as Anakin entered Palpatine's office, he spoke with him. He told him he had nightmares of losing someone close to him, and to his surprise, the Chancellor was so supportive. Although Anakin didn't tell Palpatine who these nightmares were about, Palpatine was still so helpful, and this surprised Anakin. For all these years, Palpatine and Anakin were never that close, but in that moment, it was almost as if Palpatine understood his struggles so much. To him, it felt nice having somebody around that was so patient with him and so understanding. In a way, it reminded him of his own master, Yoda. So, as the two spoke, Palpatine had something to say about the situation.
My boy, I can only imagine what it's like having nightmares of losing someone close to you.
I know. It's usually rare that I let something like this control my thoughts, but it's so hard to describe. They feel real.
Well, I think it is important that you embrace your emotions, Anakin. For so long, the Jedi have been taught to hide their emotions, and, well, look where that led Master Yoda's last apprentice, am I right?
Dooku left voluntarily. That was not because of Master Yoda.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Master Yoda is a great master. He's wise, he's intelligent, and he always looks out for me.
Ah, yes, and why did he not take you with him to Kashyyyk, then?
That was the Jedi Council's decision, not his.
But he is the Jedi Grand Master, is he not?
Anakin paused. What was his deal, he thought to himself. At first, the Chancellor was being helpful, but now it was almost as if he was acting totally different. Anakin felt strange inside.
My boy, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend.
From there, Palpatine explained the story of Darth Plagueis and how he was a Dark Lord of the Sith who was able to save the ones he cared about from dying. However, to Palpatine's surprise, Anakin was unfazed by this story. Within seconds, Anakin sensed something dark, something sinister. As the Chancellor spoke these words, Anakin felt a dark presence about him, which was something he never felt while around him until now. Then it hit him. He was a Sith Lord.
You're the Sith Lord.
I know what's been troubling you. Listen to me. Don't continue to be a pawn to the Jedi Council. You're far more powerful than any of them, including your own master. But you won't ever know, won't you? Just like how you were a slave on Tatooine, you're now a slave to the Jedi.
Enough. I'm going to turn you over to the Jedi Council.
Of course you should. But can you really trust them? You're the most powerful of all the Jedi, Anakin, and they won't even make you a Jedi Master. What does that say about them?
Your words mean nothing, Sith Lord. I will quickly discover the truth of all this.
You have great wisdom, Anakin. Know the power of the dark side, the power to save Padme.
As Anakin left the Chancellor's office, he went deep in thought. He started thinking about what Palpatine said and how there was a way he could save Padme from death. However, then he came to his senses. He couldn't trust him. It's just like what Master Yoda would always tell him. The Sith are never to be trusted. Lies and deceit are what they're about. So he quickly erased these thoughts and told himself that now he had to act immediately. With the Chancellor being revealed to be the Sith Lord, he needed to take action. So Anakin did the first thing that came to mind, and that was to contact Master Yoda.
Yes, young Skywalker.
Master Yoda, I just learned a horrifying truth. Chancellor Palpatine is the Sith Lord we've been looking for.
Yoda took a pause.
Sure of this, are you?
Yes, he knows the ways of the Force, and he's been trained to use the dark side.
Terrible this is. Young Skywalker, come back soon enough. I cannot. In grave danger the Wookiees are.
Master Yoda, I understand you're on your own mission, but this could be the key to ending the war. The Chancellor is very powerful. If we are to defeat him, we need you.
Agree with you I am. Go with Master Windu, you must. Be there soon. I will.
From there, Anakin went to go speak to Master Windu, and it was there where he broke the news to him. Just as we saw in the film, Windu was shocked, so he ordered Anakin to wait in the council chambers until he returned. But in this timeline, Anakin listened. For so long, he's looked up to Master Windu, and so disobeying him would be the last thing he would want to do. So Anakin listened and went to go wait in the chambers while Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, Saesee Tiin, and Agent Kolar went to confront the Chancellor. As time passed, Anakin kept waiting and waiting, but there was still no contact from either Master Windu or Master Yoda. However, then he heard footsteps outside. Was that Master Windu? Did he defeat the Chancellor? The footsteps got closer and closer, and before Anakin knew it, the council doors then opened. It was Master Yoda.
Master Yoda, you're back.
Yoda went silent. He looked sick inside. Anakin had never seen his master like this. Was he okay?
To wait here, did Master Windu tell you?
He did. However, it's been over an hour. I thought he'd be back by now. Master Yoda, are you okay?
A great disturbance in the Force I have felt. Pain, suffering, death I feel. Something terrible has happened. Master Windu is in pain, terrible pain.
Then we must go rescue him ourselves, Master. We can't wait any longer.
Yoda nodded his head. From there, Anakin and Yoda rushed over to the Chancellor's office, but it was there where they witnessed the unthinkable. As they walked in, they witnessed not one, but multiple dead bodies on the floor. Kit Fisto, Saesee Tiin, Agent Kolar, and Master Windu? Master Windu is dead? No, it couldn't be. He was—
It seems you are too late, my old master.
Yoda looked up. It was Count Dooku.
Done this, have you, Dooku?
Just me and my master's work of your weak, pathetic Jedi Order.
It seems you are too late, Jedi. Master Windu is dead, and the Jedi Order is minutes away from collapsing. Not if anything to say about it, I do. Ah, yes. And what will you do, Master Yoda? Resurrect your dead friend? No. It is far too late for that, my little green friend. Soon the Sith will rule the galaxy once more, and young Skywalker will join me right by my side.
Yoda looked at Anakin.
Ignore him, Master. He's talking nonsense.
But am I, young Skywalker? Master Yoda wasn't there when you came to me earlier about your nightmares. Just like how he did with Darth Tyrannus. He will let you down too, young Skywalker. Skywalker? How does that make you feel, Master Yoda? That your former apprentice joined me, because of your foolish, pathetic ways. And now, just like him, your other apprentice will be mine.
Master, ignore him. Let's end this and take them together.
Yoda nodded his head, and the two Jedi ignited their green lightsabers.
It's treason, then.
Palpatine and Dooku ignited theirs. From there, the two Jedi went head-to-head up against the two Sith. It was now the duel for the fate of the galaxy as flashes of green and red took place in the Chancellor's office. Since it was a 2v2, Anakin and Dooku quickly clashed sabers while Yoda and Palpatine also began to fight one another. However, because of Yoda's training, Anakin was able to quickly overwhelm Dooku with his acrobatics and athleticism just like Yoda taught him. As the two continued to clash, Dooku quickly realized he was no match for the young Jedi. He couldn't keep up. Anakin was just too powerful. Then before he knew it, Anakin pushed forward and out of nowhere, cutting both of Dooku's hands off, Anakin had won the fight. Count Dooku was defeated. However, the battle was far from over. Anakin turned around, and as he did, he saw Yoda and Palpatine still clashing back and forth. Then, Dooku, who was on the ground, spoke up to him.
You make a grave mistake, boy. Do you not see how corrupt the Jedi have become? How can you possibly trust your master to protect you when he couldn't even sense the Dark Lord of the Sith hiding beneath his nose the entire time? You have an opportunity here, Skywalker. Join us. We can help you save Senator Amidala's life and show you power beyond measure.
Anakin wanted to respond, but he knew what Dooku was doing. He was stalling. Dooku wanted him to be distracted so that he wouldn't go and help. Anakin turned around, however, when he did, he witnessed the unthinkable. On the floor was Chancellor Palpatine, dead. Yoda had killed him. Anakin couldn't believe his eyes. His master had really done it. Chancellor Palpatine was really dead. As Anakin stood there, he was shocked that Yoda was able to defeat the Sith Lord already. Then he thought to himself that maybe fighting in the Chancellor's office was the best thing possible. He knew how much his master thrived in using acrobatics and leaping from wall to overwhelm his enemies, so it must have worked well against Darth Sidious. If they were fighting anywhere else, well, it could be that Yoda could have possibly lost that fight, so Anakin was grateful. As Palpatine's dead body then dropped to the ground, Dooku also looked over as he sat on his knees. He was also horrified. Should he do the same? Should he kill Dooku right there and then? However, before he could keep thinking, Yoda spoke up.
Skywalker, no.
Yoda was struggling to speak. He looked injured. Anakin had never seen his master so weak. The fight really must have taken it out of him.
But Master, he's a Sith Lord. He's not to be trusted.
Agreed with you, I am. But need him, we will.
Anakin knew better than to ask any questions. Whatever reason Yoda wanted to keep him alive for, it must be important. 2 days had passed since Palpatine's death, and after what happened, Dooku was brought forward to the Senate and was sentenced for his crimes. It was there where he was forced to reveal everything that Sidious had planned, and since he had nothing to lose anymore, Dooku shared everything. He revealed that Sidious was the one behind both sides of the war the entire time and how he organized a future contingency plan called Order 66. When the Senate leaders heard this, they were shocked. They never expected any of this, let alone coming from Dooku himself. Luckily though, because of Dooku coming clean, the Jedi's image was protected, and instead of him receiving a death sentence, he was sent to life in prison. However, not just any prison. Dooku was locked below into the hidden rooms beneath the Jedi Temple, and sadly for him, he was never to be seen ever again. Not only that, but over these 2 days, Anakin's nightmares were gone. If it weren't for Yoda's teachings, he might have been manipulated by Palpatine's promises to save Padme, but luckily he knew better than that. With his nightmares now gone, he had all the confidence in the world that she would be okay, and their child would be safe. So he did exactly what Yoda taught him, and that was to focus his mind on the present, never the future. Now 2 days later, a funeral was held to honor Master Windu and the 3 other Jedi Masters that died in their fight against Palpatine. Although many Jedi missed the great man that Master Windu was, Anakin of all people tried to remember Yoda's teachings, that death was in fact a natural part of life. After the ceremony, everyone left, but Yoda asked Anakin to stay.
Yes, Master?
Young Skywalker, proud of you I am. A wise Jedi you have proven to become, and helped bring balance to the Force you have.
Well, thank you, Master. but it was you who killed Darth Sidious.
Disagree with you, I do. Yes. Stayed patient, you did. Allowed these nightmares to consume you, you did not. Without you, balance there would not be. The chosen one, you are, young Skywalker.
Well, thank you, Master. I appreciate your words.
How is Senator Amidala? Your nightmares? Still have them, do you?
My nightmares are gone, Master. I haven't had them since the Chancellor's death, which makes me believe that maybe he was so strong in the dark side, he could influence them all by himself.
Anakin paused.
Wait, how do you know they were about Padme?
For over 850 years I have lived. Stupid do you think I am, Skywalker?
What do you mean?
Your marriage, for years have I known this.
Anakin paused.
I'm sorry, Master. I tried keeping it a secret, but I just love her. I really do. I never thought you'd find out, and I know this means I'll probably now be expelled from the Jedi Order. That also means
Young Skywalker, a headache you give me. Hear my words, do you not? Proud of you I am, young Skywalker. Yes, proud.
What?
For thousands of years, band attachments we have. However, proved us wrong, you have. It is clear to me that a better Jedi you are because of Senator Amidala. Too blind of me to see the Chancellor was the Sith Lord. Too blind we were for many things.
I'll be honest, Master. I really appreciate your words. But because you speak backwards all the time, I really don't follow what you're saying.
Expelled from the Jedi Order, you are not. Grant you the rank of Master and a seat on the Jedi Council, we do. Keep your relationship with Senator Amidala. You may.
Wait, really? Me? A Master? A Jedi Council member? And I can keep my relationship with Padme? I'm not losing my mind, right? You're being serious?
Yes, proud of you I am. A wonderful father you will be.
Thank you, Master. I promise to make you proud.
Yoda smiled. From there, Anakin left. However, Yoda stayed, and as he did, he went deep in thought. For the first time in a while, he felt proud of himself. For so long, he doubted his abilities. For so many years, he carried so much guilt that he allowed Dooku to turn to the dark side, that he allowed the Jedi to go to war, that he allowed the dark side to cloud so much of his judgment. However, now he finally felt as if he did something right. Although he just broke Jedi tradition that has lasted thousands of years, he thought to himself, maybe times have changed. Maybe the fact that Jedi were so stuck in their old ways was why they couldn't see Chancellor Palpatine for who he was. By allowing attachments back into the Jedi Order, Yoda was running a big risk. But if Anakin was any living proof of what a great Jedi someone can be while keeping attachments, well, then it was a risk worth taking. However, before Yoda could keep thinking about this, he heard a voice.
So you don't miss me?
Yoda turned around.
Master Qui-Gon.
Yes, Yoda, it is I. The last time we spoke, my training was incomplete, but now you are able to see me.
Aged, you have not? Jealous, I am.
I am very proud of you, Yoda. You took it upon yourself to train the Chosen One, and while there could have been many outcomes to his future, your training set him on the right path. Now there is peace and prosperity in the galaxy.
Tried my best, I did. Proud of him I am.
Me too. Now come along. If you are to one day look as good as me, then I have a lot to teach you, my old friend.